Hi everyone. Let's go ahead and take a look at section 8 of chapter 20, and this is looking at pulmonary circulation. So we're just going to trace the path through the pulmonary circulation, trace the path of blood, specifically actually looking at those blood vessels that the blood passes through. And then we're just going to go in and compare and contrast the pulmonary and systemic circulation. So here is the path of the blood through the pulmonary circuit. And some of this we've already gone through, so let's just reiterate it, or just review, I guess I should say. Review what we've already gone over, but we're going to take a look at something that we haven't looked at yet, which is going to be this little picture right here. So there's the blood in the right atrium, and remember it moves to the right ventricle. Pulmonary trunk splits to pulmonary arteries that carry blood away from the heart, and this is when they are going to start diving into those lungs. So now we're going to move over here and zoom in on what we're looking at, the lungs, and we are going to have that deoxygenated blood going through the pulmonary arterioles before they are going to be emptied into these pulmonary capillaries. That's what this little network is surrounding these little balls here in the lungs, which are alveoli. They're going to be the air sacs that are going to be found in the lungs. And what we're doing here is we are exchanging gases. We're getting rid of that carbon dioxide and we are picking up oxygen. And once we do that, the blood is going to move into the pulmonary venules because we have oxygenated blood. Let's move it and we're going to start to make our journey back to the heart. Here's those pulmonary veins. Remember, you have the left and the right and the left, I guess I should say. And that is going to really end the pulmonary circulation when it empties into the left atrium. So as soon as it hits that left atrium, it goes in, it's going to be that systemic circulation that is going to be in the body. So now let's compare and contrast that pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. And the main thing that we're going to focus on is this blood pressure. It's a lot lower here in the pulmonary circulation. When it leaves the right ventricle, look, it's 10 to 15 millimeters of mercury. And by the time it gets to the pulmonary veins and starts heading back to the heart, it's almost zero. So when it's in these pulmonary capillaries, the pressure's all the way down to 10. Which if you compare that to the systemic capillaries, they were 35 to 17. But remember, we needed to have this higher in the systemic capillaries because we relied on that hydrostatic pressure for the fluid exchange. We needed to move these mass volumes of fluid out and substances out of the capillaries and get them to the tissues and then reabsorb it back in. So it really relied on this hydrostatic pressure. We don't have to worry about that so much here in the pulmonary capillaries. Pulmonary capillaries and how gas exchange occurs is mainly through diffusion. So that's where we're going to have the lower pressure here. And then that's going to encourage that gas exchange. Is because of that. And also blood is going to move slower here as well. Well, it was slow in the capillaries. Remember, I'm not sure why they put this under with pressure. Remember, velocity is how speedy it is going to move, but then pressure is going to be a little bit different. But you guys get the point, right? Let's talk about what causes this pressure to be lower. There is less elastic tissue, connective tissue here in the pulmonary vessels. But these are a couple of things I want to focus on because we've been concentrating on this whole resistance, pressure kind of thing. Here in the pulmonary circulation, in these vessels of the pulmonary circulation, you have wider lumens. Nice big giant straw to drink your milkshake, right? That is going to go in and decrease resistance, which helps with blood pressure, helps lower blood pressure. Also, the length of the pulmonary arteries are going to be, or pulmonary vessels are going to be shorter because of the fact that the lungs are closer to the heart. So remember we talked about how length is also going to affect resistance. The shorter the blood vessel, the lower the resistance. And that also is going to help lower blood pressure. as well. And again, that's exactly what we want there in the pulmonary circulation. So in the next video that we're going to take a look at, we're not going to cover anything in 20.9, but just a couple of specialized structures that I want to talk about in section 10. So until next time.